Good day and welcome back to some more F1 My Team. Today we are here down in Australia for the penultimate race of the season. It's not what you traditionally associate with the penultimate round, but here we are, and round 19 from Albert Park. Now, before we jump into things, we are going to pick up the admin work from the end of the previous episode at Brazil. If you haven't seen it, I'll leave the episode linked in the top right. It was a crazy race from dry to wet, lots of good overtakes, and probably the best the car felt all season long. But after the race, you can see kind of what happened, what transpired, and we currently sit on $1.5 million. Now, we're going to look at the R&D because we have to protect some upgrades, and we're going to go ahead and spend all of our points on the aerodynamics. Now, we're going to actually be able to get a good chunk of these protected, which is good. So as you can see, we're going to get all the work done on the drag reduction, which is important. We're also going to get more work done on the DRS, and we're also going to buy a couple of, I believe, rear downforce ones, and that's going to leave us with just the front downforce remaining. So once we've done that, we can move on to the engine, and that should be it in terms of protecting all of the upgrades. And we'll try and do some of that stuff at the start of the next episode, the finale in Abu Dhabi. But we now jump into the race weekend in Melbourne, and looking forward to it. It's going to be good fun, and I can't wait. So, looking at the performance chart first and foremost, AlphaTauri have once again re-overtaken us as we don't bring any major upgrades this weekend. We do have one more upgrade planned for the front downforce. It's a major one, and that might just take us back above AlphaTauri, and that should arrive before the finale in Abu Dhabi. The weather forecast is dry, it's sunny, therefore a shrimp on the barbie is going to be absolutely on the list here this weekend as we jump into Friday practice. So let's talk about it. Australia, good fun. I love the track. I think it's always awesome to race here. And after practice, we scored a flawless 600 points and hit every single target. So that's going to give us a nice boost of R&D points. And of course, it's going to help us out massively in terms of protecting the car heading into next season's regulation change. So I'm feeling pretty optimistic. I do feel like we're going to be able to protect all the upgrades and actually add some as well, especially on the chassis. So I think we could have a pretty strong start to next season. But we now move into Q1, and this is currently my first time lap of the session, and we're going to try and get through on one set of tyres in this qualifying. So the plan is to try and hit a decent lap. The car feels awesome, the setup that I'm running is really, really good, and right now we're just stuck behind Lungan, who has rejoined from the pit exit, and it's just going to get in our way a little bit here. I was hoping he'd get out of the way, but then heading through the fast right, we're going to lose the back end.
That was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're okay.
And it's not the best start to the weekend. Wow, big moment on the curb again. You guys know, if you watch my live streams on Twitch, I've been having a few issues at Spa for the Belgian Grand Prix in my league racing, and this time Australia has bitten us. So yeah, damage for us here today, and an early end, an early exit in Q1, and that was definitely not part of the plan. So yeah, that's disappointing, man. I can't believe it. We look at the final results, and in terms of qualifying, we're going to start last, but you never know, there might be some grid penalties possibly that might help us out. You know, you can always kind of count on that helping you sometimes, but in general, it's a shame because the pace was actually really good after practice. I felt like we had a good car, and I really thought we could challenge, but unfortunately, we're not going to get that chance to showcase that pace. So yeah, we're going to start the Australian Grand Prix from last place.
It's race day here in Melbourne as we continue with what could shape up to be one of the best Australian Grand Prix. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 16 corners and 3.3 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles an hour. The close proximity of the barriers makes accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn one. It's all a bit like going into battle. and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Perez, Charles Leclerc and Sainz. Ricciardo, they've taken a grid penalty. Fernando Alonso, Norris and Yuki Tsunoda. Gasly, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Vettel, Nikita Mazepin and Stroll. Martinez, Ocon, they've taken a grid penalty. Kimi Raikkonen and Mick Schumacher. Russell, Lundgaard. Latifi and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Okay guys, here we go. It's time for the penultimate round of the season. When have we said that before with Australia? Usually we're on this grid and it usually means the start of a new season, but not in this case. We are at the penultimate round of season 1. We are locked in a battle with AlphaTauri, and we're going to see if we can try and get one up on them here today. So P15 on the grid for us after gaining quite a lot of places from grid penalties. So even though we crashed out in qualifying, we're still P15, which is absolutely unbelievable, and it gives us a remarkably good shot at getting some points today. So best believe we're going to try and make it count. So we're going to start the race on the mediums, then switch to the soft compound tyres. A very simple one stop, having the faster tyre at the end on the lighter fuel load. So looking forward to it. Fresh tyres, of course, as we didn't use any of them in qualifying. In terms of the fuel load, I'm going to go 29 laps on the nose, no more, no less. There's no rain expected, so let's jump into it and let's see if we can try and bag some points. Okay, let's do this. Let's see what happens. 5 lights for the Australian Grand Prix. And we're underway. Not a bad start, I've got to say, on the medium tyre, but a few cars getting a better start than me. Been hitting the rear there. Not sure by who. We've actually lost a few places.
The side pods have taken damage. Keep an eye on your engine temperature. Cooling may be adversely affected. The virtual safety car has been deployed. Slow down and maintain a positive delta.
Side pod damage,
resulting in a high level of debris on the track.
Hold the phone. So we've now got side pod damage? I mean, I can't see anything on the damaged screen, but clearly there must be some sort of minor damage on the side pods. So we'll keep an eye on the cooling. That's a new one though. I knew there was floor damage this year and rear wing damage, but side pod damage, that's a new one to me. Anyway, VSC, just like the last race in Brazil for the opening lap of the race. Something obviously happened further back. Looks like everyone's still going though. We're still a full grid of 22 cars, but not a good start. Down to P18, losing 3 places. The start wasn't that bad, but I just didn't really, pick the right line. I got a bit unlucky with the line that I chose and just a general lack of aggression, but those cars that did pass me were all on the soft tyre, I believe, so we'll try and make those places back. Schumacher, Stroll, Lundgaard. We'll try and fight back. Let's see when this VSC ends though, and we'll try and see if we can make it a good restart. I can see an Alpine of Ocon, I believe he passed me as well. He's on mediums. And then besides that, I think everyone else after that is on the soft tyre. We'll get a good look here for this left-hander. Yeah, I think the majority of cars are on soft. I think Tsunoda might have been on mediums in the distance from what I saw. Let's make sure to not lose tyre temp.
Ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
Let's go here. I'm going to keep my throttle pinned and commit to this.
Okay, clear.
Oh, that's going to be a warning for track limits. No, it isn't, but it's a big old moment for me. Well, that's not the best of virtual safety car restart, I will admit. We'll fight back though and keep Raikkonen behind us for now. Let's try and get these places back. So we've got Ocon here battling away with Schumacher. Bit of a breakaway forming in the pack, which is not what we want early on. We want to try and stay as a pack of cars.
The bodywork's taken a few scrapes. Try not to make it any worse.
Okay, I think I got the message, Jeff. I think I'm aware now we've got some form of car damage. Hopefully we'll be okay. Obviously that can't get repaired in the pit stop. Let's see if we can try and line up Lundgaard for the pass. I've got to say, the race car feels good. It's like Brazil all over again. I think we've got a very good Sunday car. I just need to try and make these overtakes, but right now it's proving a bit difficult as we're kind of stuck in the DRS train. That's traditionally what happens around Australia. That's why the start was so important, and we actually ended up going backwards. But I'm not going to complain too much because we were meant to be starting P22 in this race, and somehow we started P15, but still a bit of a missed opportunity. But I'll try and see if I can look into passing Lundgaard on this lap. I want to try and make some progress now. I don't know where to pass Lundgaard, man. I really don't. The AI are super fast in that 11-12 chicane and also out of the final corner, so I don't really have a spot where I have an outright edge, you know, on the AI. I'm pretty good at the heavy brake zones, but I need to have good corner exits to get close. I mean, look at this. I'm pretty close to Lundgaard here. The issue is I can't follow or stay close. As you can see, the second one, the first one's okay, but the right-hander is really tough to match the AI speed. But yeah, just kind of stuck right now. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait until the soft tyre guys pit and try and make a bit of a difference on the old mediums in terms of pace for a potential overcut. But I'll say that. This might be my chance. We're pretty close through here. Going to use the ERS. Up the inside. There it is. Finally, we've got our breakthrough. That might be the spot. Let's try and go after Stroll and Schumacher next. I want to try and make these moves while the AI struggle on their worn softs. Schumacher, Stroll, side by side into one. Schumacher still keeping Stroll behind, but these two are having a pretty good battle, and it's going to allow me to close up. I think Stroll's going to get it this time though. Yes, he does. He gets past the Haas. So Schumacher's defense comes to an end. Let's try and follow Stroll here swiftly and try and dispatch the German rookie. If possible, I'm going to try and go for a similar move to the Lundgaard one. Easy through here. Clean traction, important. There it is. We're just going to get on the inside of Schumacher here. Oh, contact. But we're through. Hopefully no wing damage. Yellow flag up ahead. I can see on the minimap. Let's see if something comes from that. Oh, Ricciardo's out. Oh my god. In his home race.
Caution, caution.
So we're going to gain another place from that. I don't know how. I don't think I got a warning for that chicane cut, which is insane. No idea why I didn't get a track limit warning for that, but I'll take it. We've got our first cars in the pit lane. Let's see if we can gain those places back. Perez in there, Leclerc in there, Bottas as well, but Bottas is going to rejoin ahead of us in the Mercedes on the hard tyre, so we're going to the end. We'll have a big advantage over those who go for the hard tyre in their stop when we go to the softs at the end. Bottas and Mazepin absolutely going for it here. Mazepin not letting up, and Bottas being forced to work for the move, but he's going to get it done. Mazepin very slow there. I just lose all momentum. That's going to put Lundgaard on the back. I'm going to just give him a squeeze and let him know that I'm still going to stay ahead of him. Trying to follow Mazepin through the chicane. You can see I just lacked the performance, but now we can have a run. He's got DRS, but I've got the slipstream. Up the inside of Mazepin we go. Oh, that was a reckless one. Luckily, I think I avoided any wing damage, so we're through. And that's another one down. More cars in the pits. This race has really come alive, man. I do regret though not getting a good start. I feel like I've lost a lot of ground. But let's see. So Stroll pits for Aston Martin. Hamilton's rejoined up the road. And I think, yeah, okay, we're looking okay right now. P9, let's try and keep the pace up. Ocon's our target. I want to try and catch up to him. Lundgaard finally pits along with other cars.
Christian is in the pits. Christian in the pits.
There we go, we rejoined just ahead of Alonso. So Alonso having a pretty decent race for Alpine. This of course is final or penultimate race. I think we've had an incident at turn 1. I could be wrong.
Some information on Leclerc. They've got a serious car issue.
Wow.
Looks like they're retiring. Drop your speed. Our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
Okay, safety car. Interesting. So obviously we're going to pit this lap. We're going to take the free pit stop and go for the hard top. Let's go.
Okay, relay some information on Bottas. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Okay, Bottas slowing down, which is good news for us. We're going to pit. Here we go. We're going to push this pit entry a little bit. Slow it down. There we go. Couldn't even see the speed I was doing there, but luckily we managed to slow it down enough. Only issue is we're not really going to gain. We'll hold Ocon a little bit. We're not going to hold Tsunoda, but there's no real benefit because the pack was quite close.
Go now.
Yeah, we're not really going to gain anything here. We might jump Stroll.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Damn, I mean, nothing really happened there. P16. And everyone's done their pit stops already, man. This race has suddenly just gone really flat. The timing out of the safety car actually has killed the race for us. Bit of a shame, really. The only thing we could go for is box again and go for mediums. I've got a fresh set. But do I want to do that? I don't know. I don't think I do. Okay, here we go. Time for the safety car restart. I've got some very, very nice tyre temp in these tyres. So we're ready to push. Front right's a little bit cold, but that's okay. We're ready to go. Let's see if we can have a good restart here. There's going to be a lot of chaos, I think. I'm expecting carnage from the AI, so let's see. It's going to be tough, though, to match up at first. They're going to be running at full pace for at least 2 laps.
Okay, the incident has been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed.
Look at them drive away on the straight. We're quite slow on the straight, I will admit. I've gone quite aggressive and high with the wings, but let's try and keep up with the pace and fire back. Tsunoda and Russell battling away for P12. It's causing a break-up in the pack again, which is bad news. We've got some more battling up ahead now, though, as we make way for the final few corners. AI losing a lot of time, man. Not ideal for us. Oh, the understeer I get is horrible. Even with this much front wing, signs in the pit lane. Possible front wing damage. Easy does it here. Everyone's kind of scrapping away here, and I'm just being a bit cautious about how everyone behaves. Can we pick something up here, down towards turn 3? Up the inside of Stroll. Could be a little cheeky, opportunistic move here. And the outside of turn 4. That's going to be the inside for turn 5, and we're through. Let's try and get Russell at the same time. Oh my god, Stroll, I just literally looked back there and he's gone straight back underneath me there. We'll stay ahead. But that was a scary one. No idea if he got wind damage or not. Luckily he didn't cut my tyre and he didn't give us a puncture. Let's try and get George Russell though and dispatch the Williams, which is clearly off pace. Can I maybe get this one through the chicane? Oh yes, very nice. You can tell the Williams is not a good car. The fact I'm able to keep up the inside without DRS. Job done. Let's go after Ocon Tsunoda. Let's not let them get away. So this is it. The battle for P10. Giovinazzi, Tsunoda, Ocon and myself. Lugar's dropped off. Russell and Stroll pit due to wing damage. So Stroll did get front wing damage. And now we're going to see if we can make something happen. It's a lot harder to follow these guys, man. You can see through there what a difference. I just can't quite get the car to work like they do. But let's see. It's going to be tough to overtake. We're in a bit of a train right now. But I'll try and see what I can do. We may need to rely on these three battling amongst themselves to open up a few gaps and opportunities for us, as I just can't get the exit out of any of the crucial zones before the DRS. So it's really tough for me to really challenge. You see here, Ocon just kind of being dragged along by Tsunoda. I'll try and get close into 1 and see if I can carry that momentum down to 3, but I can't fully get the traction down out of there, and that gives Ocon just enough of a gap. I struggle to catch up. Up the inside we go, coming through. That was a bit of a squeeze and a half, but Ocon left just about enough room. Yeah, there we go, we've got that one done. That was on the borders, but we've squeezed through. Ocon trying to put his nose back in there. Similar to Stroll, but not quite committing. So we're P12. Tsunoda next. We've got time to make these moves. Okay, here we go. Tsunoda's looking for it. He's weaving, trying to force Giovinazzi into a possible mistake. I'm just trying to bide my time, wait for the opportunity. There's 4 more cars up ahead, so points are definitely not off the table here. A lot can happen in 10 laps. There could be some retirements, some possible mistakes. We've seen those this season. Let's see. I'm actually pretty close to Tsunoda here. I may have a chance. This could be it, actually. Up the inside we go. Lovely. Yes. Big old lunge. Sonoda made it difficult, but fair. But we're through. Let's try and stay within Giovinazzi's DRS range. Lovely, we've done it. Could be points on the board here, and we can definitely attack that chicane more. That's the second time I've done that now this race, and I've not been punished for it, so let's get these points. Oh, okay, we've got Raikkonen in the pits, so that puts us in the top 10. So Kimi Raikkonen, maybe battling, got wounded, got wing damage, and now we're going to try and pass his teammate Antonio Giovinazzi. Here we go. Look at the speed on the straight. Up the inside of the Italian. Down the inside we go. And it's P9. Oh yes. And we're not done yet. Let's try and chase down the cars up the road. I don't think they're a lot faster, so we can definitely have a go at catching them. Personal best. Giovinazzi pits, which is interesting. So surely all these guys don't have wing damage because my move on Gio was clean. So all I can guess is they're just not going to make it on their tyres maybe? Not sure. Either way, we're chilling. We've got clearance over Sonoda. I think we're going to be okay. 7 laps remain. And we're gradually just increasing the gap to Sonoda and Ocon right now. We're not catching the cars ahead, but we're pretty much matching Gasly's pace. So we are comfortable P9 right now. Car feels absolutely awesome. Really enjoying just driving, to be honest, and just pushing the car each lap. Personal best on these tyres, which we've been on for a little while now. I'm just finding the sweet spot and just unlocking more pace. Really enjoying it. And now the fuel's burning off as well. The car is getting more agile, more easy to drive. Oh, okay, Raikkonen's out of the race. No virtual or safety car from that. Doesn't really change our position much. I believe Lundgaard's P11 or P12 right now. So if Sonoda and Ocon have a bit of
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
a bit of an incident or something, you never know. Lundgaard could be in the points today. Oh.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
Wow. Oh my god. What? That's for Kimi. Now, after a whole lap, they've called the safety car now. It's going to be a 2-lap sprint. Mamma mia. Just when I thought this race was going to calm down. What is it? Every race is an absolute certified banger at the moment. Wow. Oh mate, I'm tempted. Do we just go on a set of softs and wing it for 2 laps? There's going to be chaos, it could be damage. We could benefit massively. The delta has now gone, so that's going to pretty much ruin the chance of me gambling.
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
But imagine, if I was like 10 seconds up the road, I would have definitely gambled on a set of softs. Because there's so much time to gain on fresh softs around here. Let's just bring this car home, man. Safety car in this lap, we've made it. We're on the back of the queue. Can we get anything else out of this race? About to find out, but it's going to be a crazy 2 laps, so buckle in folks. This is going to be interesting. The AI usually run flat out for 2 laps after a safety car, so that's exactly the duration of the race we have left. So we're going to be in for a battle, and oh, I'm struggling there to get the rears to work. What's wrong with my tyres? My tyres are okay. They're not super cold, a little bit chilly, but luckily Sonoda's restart wasn't that great either. Let's try and get back on the pace. I'm actually hoping for a very just boring restart, to be honest. I'll happily take P9 right now. Last lap of the race, we've done enough. Sonoda's trying to close in, but I've got a lot of VRS charge to use. Hamilton, I think, is going to win the race. I'm not quite sure, we'll confirm it shortly. But if Hamilton wins, that's him world champion, confirmed. Let's wait and confirm that real quick. Yes, it is. Hamilton wins the championship. 8-time world champion. We're going to come through and score points again. Yes.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
And with that, another year of Formula One draws to a close, and the new World Drivers' Champion is declared. Another entry added to that prestigious list of the sport's most incredible drivers. That's a spectacular victory then, and with it, the championship is secure. It's been a magnificent season, and they thoroughly deserve the cheers of the crowd here today. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
There we go then, confirmation of Hamilton's 8th World Championship. He wins it in style, win and fastest lap here today. Verstappen P2, Bottas rounds off the podium. Alonso P4 for Alpine ahead of Lando Norris. Sergio Perez P5 for Red Bull ahead of Sebastian Vettel and Pierre Gasly. We finish in P9, score points again, great finish, great race, pace was awesome. I do wonder, had we been able to qualify and not crashed, I think it could have been a really strong race for us today, but still happy with P9. I'll take that every day of the week. Tsunoda P10. Missing out on the top 10, we have Ocon, Sainz, Stroll, Lundgaard, Schumacher, Mazepin, Latifi, Giovinazzi, Russell, Raikkonen, Leclerc, and Ricciardo, of course, unfortunately the home hero, out of the race. Now, race done. We're now going to move into standings, and with one more race to go, Hamilton now crowned and officially confirmed world champion. We move back into the top 10 on countback due to higher finishing positions, and we jump ahead of Lance Stroll, but equal on points heading into the final race, so it's going to be interesting. Can we hold on to a top 10 in Abu Dhabi? In the Constructors, we're 8th place, are now 5 points behind Abu Dhabi. In the Constructors, we're still in 8th place, but we're now 5 points behind AlphaTauri, of course, as Tsunoda and Gasly scored points, and they could be crucial points, as I don't think we're going to be able to overturn that deficit in the final race, which is a real shame. I'll try and do my best, but for us to score 5 points, we're going to need a mega race. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the action here today at Albert Park. It was an absolute classic. Again, just like the last episode, we'll take care of the admin work at the start of the next one for the finale of season 1, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this episode, then smash the like button. Let's try and hit over 1,000 likes. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, guys, and notifications on for when the new season starts. And yeah, as always, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them, and I'll see you guys very soon. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.